Imagine getting an invitation to like a really sacred, unifying community dinner, and you show up only to find the wealthy host has locked themselves in the formal dining room.
Right, with all the best wine.
Exactly, and they leave you out in the courtyard with literal scraps. And, that isn't some hypothetical scenario. That was a real dinner party happening around 50 AD.
Yeah, and it triggered this blistering 2,000-year-old rebuke that, well, it fundamentally shaped one of the most famous rituals in human history.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking how this completely fractured first-century gathering offers you a masterclass in memory, unity, and what it actually means to share a table.
It really is a fascinating look into human nature. When we dig into Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, specifically chapter 11, we're not just reading ancient history, we're looking at a profound sociological clash.
Because, humans are just wired for memory, right? We fill our calendars with national holidays and birthdays.
Oh, exactly. We use these physical repeated rituals to anchor our values. But this specific group in Corinth, they had managed to take a ritual of ultimate sacrifice and mutate it into a toxic status symbol.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because reading the text, Paul is just furious. I mean, he bluntly tells the Corinthians their gatherings actually do more harm than good.
Yeah, he holds absolutely nothing back.
But here's my hang up with this. When you look at the Lord's Supper today, in most modern contexts, it's like a tiny wafer and a sip of juice. It's highly symbolic. So how on earth were people getting drunk and gorging themselves while others literally starved?
Right, that's the disconnect. Because in the early church, this wasn't just a symbolic snack handed out at an altar. It was a full, actual feast.
Oh, so like a real dinner party.
Exactly, held in someone's private home. And to understand why it broke down so badly, you have to look at the first century Roman cultural norms of patronage.
Okay, meaning what exactly?
Well, wealthy patrons hosted these gatherings. And Roman homes had this very rigid architecture that was literally designed to enforce social class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the host and the VIP guests, they dine to the triclinium. That's the formal dining room. And they're eating all the premium food.
Right.
Meanwhile, the lower classes, the laborers and slaves who often arrived late after working all day, they were relegated to the atrium.
Just the outer courtyard.
Right. And they were getting the leftovers, if there was anything left at all.
Wait, so they were just importing the standard Roman social hierarchy directly into the church? Like hosting a community potluck, but the rich just barricade themselves in a VIP section to eat all the gourmet food?
That is exactly it. And the wealthy probably didn't even see themselves as malicious.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just acting like normal, high-status Roman citizens.
That was just how their world worked.
Precisely. But what's fascinating here is how Paul interprets this. He sees it as an absolute betrayal of the faith.
Because it ruins the whole point of the gathering.
Yes. He argues that by bringing this secular class system into this specific meal, they aren't just exhibiting bad manners. He literally equates it with despising the Church of God.
Man, that is a heavy accusation.
It is. They took a ritual meant to erase societal divides and basically weaponized it to humiliate the vulnerable.
Which forces Paul to, hit the reset button, because the Corinthians completely lost the plot.
Yeah, he has to bypass all their Roman social customs and take them all the way back to the original sacred blueprint.
The night Jesus was betrayed.
Exactly. He reminds them of the mechanism of the ritual itself. Jesus offered the bread as his body given for them, and the cup as the new covenant in his blood.
So participating isn't just a careless routine or an annual checklist item.
No, it's a solemn act. The elements represent a total bodily surrender of privilege and life for the sake of others.
So if the host of the original meal gave up his very life, the hosts in Corinth who are hoarding all the good wine are missing the entire point.
Exactly. It makes their version of the ritual actively contradictory.
So what does this all mean for us? I mean, is this just about taking church more seriously, or is it a broader call to empathy?
Well, synthesizing all the modern reflections we have, the text demands some pretty intense self-evaluation from you. It challenges you to ask, are you gathering yearly for yourself or to build up the community?
Right.
You cannot legitimately consume the symbols of ultimate self-sacrifice while actively marginalizing the very people that sacrifice was meant to redeem.
That makes total sense. It shifts the Lord's Supper from a passive vertical transaction, just you and God, into an active horizontal mandate.
I love how you put that. The memory of that sacrifice has to dictate how you treat the unseen or excluded person sitting right across from you.
Because the ritual is entirely hollow if it doesn't manifest as genuine equity within the community.
Exactly. It is a mandate to actively notice those who are unseen, excluded, or hungry. We have to actively dismantle the invisible barriers we build around ourselves to protect our own comfort.
The Lord's Supper is not just a religious routine, it's a sacred remembrance of Christ's sacrificial love. So think about the regular traditions and gatherings in your own life. Are those rituals fostering genuine unity? Or are they subtly creating invisible barriers that leave the vulnerable on the outside looking in?